Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.
I'm here with a familiar face. He's now become very familiar to this community. Coach Moore, glad to have you with us this morning.
Glad to be here.
Oh, I tell you, that's so good. Going to tell Mark back at the studio to mute the phone because I hear it popping in and out. But anyway, let's talk about all the things that have been happening so far this year since you came to the school, and what is going on, like from Enterprise and everything else, all through the summer.
Yeah, we've had a big summer. We competed in 4 events this summer, 3 with our varsity and 1 with our freshman group. But overall, it was a really good summer. The kids, we did things a little bit differently than had been done here. We had the kids up here really early at 6 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and so that was really good. But our biggest event was Enterprise. We went to Enterprise, spent a night there, practiced against them for a couple of days, 2 different deals, and it was really good. So I was excited about the way that we performed this summer, the consistency that our kids gave, so I was really pleased with the summer overall. We went to Opelika to a 7-on-7 tournament. A Fellowship of Christian Athletes put that on, and did well. We lost in the semifinals to Opelika, but we beat Auburn High School and beat a couple of bigger schools, and that was good and encouraging. And then our freshmen went to another 7-on-7 at Opelika High School and tied Central Phoenix City in the championship game. So that was also encouraging. So there were a lot of things that went well over the summer. Tons of things going on. Some new staff in place over the summer. Some guys came in and really did a great job, and really pleased with the work ethic of our coaches and our kids for the most part.
When you talk about the work ethics and everything else that's been going on, we just, like to, I'm adjusting something here and I hit the wrong button. When you look at all the things that are happening with the school, you've got new coaches. Let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the new coaches, assistant coaches.
Yeah, we're now to 10 coaches. We're up, including myself. We're up to 10 coaches, which is really comparable to most places, bigger schools. We hired 5 new ones over the spring and summer. Some were here in the spring, most were not. New additions in the spring. Brandon Johnson came in. That's kind of a familiar name now. He's strength and conditioning coordinator and then offensive coordinator. He was with me at Opelika for a while, and really good friend of mine, and excited that he's here. Zach Holmes is here. Zach was a head coach at Summiton Christian School in Birmingham for 3 years, and then decided he wanted to come down, and his wife actually took a job in Dothan, so I kind of, through a mutual friend, found him, and he's coaching our linebackers, and he and Dwayne Mock are coordinating our defense together. So then Coach Mock was promoted to defensive coordinator and then assistant athletic director as well. It's kind of a familiar name here, and really a top-notch guy, great family. Been really good for me. Jonathan Hawkins is a new hire. He was a defensive line coach for Coach Holmes in Birmingham. He's down and excited about him. Great defensive line coach. Chance Williams. Chance was a late addition. Our middle school needed a teacher about 4 days before we started school, and so my coaches and I got together and got a group together and Miss Kinsey and I interviewed Chance for an exploratory position in the middle school, and he's helping with our offensive line. Michael Smith, of course, Smitty, as he's known here, is our basketball coach, but is also working with our defensive backs, specifically our corners. Smitty was here at the end of spring. He got here early June, and then try not to leave anybody out. I think that's all. But again, great additions to our staff. Great guys, men of character. Really excited about our staff as a whole.
One of the things that I'd like to point out is that during the spring game, and we haven't really talked officially on the air since then, the guys came out of the locker room. They were bouncing. There was so much enthusiasm. Is that going to continue, you think, in this first game that we're coming up with after the scrimmage?
Well, I hope so. I mean, the energy's been really good. The kids have done a really good job of getting themselves going. They enjoy the game. They were excited about the Northview game. And it was easy to get excited early in that game. Some things went well for us, which helped and built some momentum that really fed throughout the game. The kids fed on that. And so, yeah, I think so. I mean, every event that we've been to, every competition, they've been really excited. They've been really energetic and played with a lot of great effort throughout. So, yeah, I've been encouraged by that. The kids like to play, and I think that after you practice, 25 times, work out over the summer, and then you've got roughly 15 days of fall camp. They're ready to play somebody else. So, yeah, I think the energy will be really good game one.
All right, let's talk about move back a week. Coming up this coming Friday night.
Yeah.
Something very important is happening for people to get a kind of a sneak peek of this revised Tiger program.
Right.
And that's at the scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to scrimmage. It'll be an inter-squad scrimmage. We last year, Eufaula played Dothan, went to Dothan, but Dothan got out of the deal and went and played a team out of Florida and are going to play a team out of Florida this Friday. So I decided that I really didn't want to play or pick up with another team. Sometimes when you play a jamboree type game and then 10 straight weeks in the season, and then you start working into the playoffs, you really get you're busted up a little bit and tired, and you're injured. And so, we wanted to just work against each other there. And really, the spring scrimmage that we had went really well. So I thought we could get what we needed to out of it. It'll be heavy in the kicking game. We'll work hard on our special teams. There won't be a lot of good versus good, 1 versus 1 action. There'll be mostly, 1 versus 2, 2 versus 1 type stuff. And then our young guys, which we call our Tigers group, our Tigers will play against each other a good bit there. So as far as our older kids, you won't see a lot of them. You'll see some, enough that we get an idea. But we had a scrimmage this past Friday. Really, it was just a long team period, but where we went a lot of offense versus defense, no kicking game, and ran about 50 plays to see where we were. And so we feel good about a lot of the areas. But yeah, I mean, we need a tune-up. We need to get ready. We need to work out any kink. I want to see us run on and off the field. I want to make sure our personnel is okay, that we don't get penalty things with our substitutions and those kind of things, that we're really clean for August 28th versus Russell County.
When you look at this game coming up Friday night, scrimmage, not a game, what can we expect when we get here? What length will the quarters be? That sort of thing.
It'll be really scripted. Everything will be situationally based. I'll put the chains out there, and we're basically getting a trial run for everybody, from our chain crew to our concession stand. We'll have a couple of drinks and things like that available. From our PA to you guys run, just going through the process of our sideline organization, and really it's just a trial run for everybody to make sure that any issue that we might have from a technology standpoint or anything, that we can get that all worked out. But we'll play it as quarters. We won't keep any type of score. It won't be like an A-Day type game. It'll be more of just again an exaggerated team period that we'll work through. But again, focusing heavily on the kicking game, making sure our operation there, our snapping, our holding, our punting, our kicking is good, and then that our returners get a lot of work in front of people. Sometimes that's different for them. Instead of just being in a practice setting, to put people in the stands and make them return a kick or a punt is a big deal. So some of the special teams will be live, but for the most part it'll be very scripted and very organized in that sense. But mostly we want to see a lot of different groups run on and off and those kind of things.
So we're going to have a PA announcer.
Yeah, I got to talk with Mr. Terciano, but
Okay.
yeah, we're going to work on all that kind of stuff today.
All
As a
right.
matter of fact, get all that organized. But yeah, I want it to be as game-like as possible. Yes.
All right. Now, when we look at this new and improved Tigers that we've been seeing develop since the spring game, you were only here about 3 weeks before you played that spring game. Now they've been exposed to your style.
Right.
I can imagine they're going to be picking up on that style from
Yeah.
the summer and the spring.
And we're still a work in progress. I mean, I think as a coach, you never even close to satisfied with where you are and where your kids are. We're constantly improving every day. Again, I use the term changing the culture a lot, not in any way to talk about what's been done here because the tradition is so strong and Eufaula's been such a great program, but just to sort of fit more of what we expect from them, what I expect, because you've got to bring your own style to it, just like you said, Ron. And the kids are buying into that. It's been a challenge, and that's where my focus is. As far as physically, as far as what we do offensively and defensively and in our kicking game, we're going to be fine in that sense. I feel very confident in what we're doing. I feel very confident in our coaching staff. It's mostly about our culture and how we treat each other and the types of teammates we are and the type of character we have. Those kind of things are where I'm at right now, the mental side of it. And so we've done some exercises to try and build that up and to try to work through some chemistry type things. But that's where I am right now is, in the spring game it was all about how quickly can we get ready to play. How quickly can we get our scheme in and get us ready physically. But now it's more so how do we approach each game? How do we approach practice? What's our mindset like? Are we growth-minded people? Are we working to improve every day? Or are we wasting our time and just getting through it? Are we okay with where we are? And I'm not focused on any type of opponent, and our kids aren't either. Of course, we've looked at Russell County and what they do offensively and defensively and try to prepare as well as we can, but we're more focused on ourselves. How good can Eufaula be? And we'll just see how it goes. I'm optimistic and excited because I'm eager to see us play a 5A opponent. I know Russell County's 6A, but eventually we're going to get into some people our size. We've not played one opponent our size, whether in the summer or this first game. We'll still be playing bigger opponents, but I'm excited to see where we are. I have no idea. Again, I'm excited, and I think we're gonna have a chance to be pretty good, but I don't know. And so I'm eager to see the kids over a season, and so I'm just as excited as any fan or any teacher here.
When you talk about size, we were close to going to 6A. Do you think maybe we're going to head up that way with our school population this year?
I'm not sure. I just, sometimes I find myself, wanting to look into it deep and really wanting to, try and project where we're going to be, but we just can't. We got to worry about 2015, and then in December we'll start worrying about all that kind of stuff. But
right.
But yeah, I mean I'm hopeful, that we'll stay where we are, but if we don't, we'll work through it and find a way to to compete at that level and hopefully be good.
How many players do you have right now?
I have 79 kids. That's 9 through 12. Which is a pretty good number. I mean, just trying to, I was counting some of I could watch film from last year and watch them run through the sign and counting the kids and trying to figure out where we are. We're where we need to be. The only thing it was kind of interesting, we were taking pictures the other day and we had 23 seniors, 23 juniors, 23 freshmen, but 10 sophomores. And so our sophomore class is not as big as we would like. But for the most part, our numbers are really good, and I think they're all hooked. I mean, those guys out of the 79 that were here, every one of them went through summer. You know, none are new additions or anything like that. They're all kids that paid the price in the summer to be part of Eufaula's program, and so they're all kids that are sold out to what we're doing.
Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.
Ladies, unlock the cash value in your jewelry box. Sell your gold on Dale Road. We buy gold jewelry, bent or broken, at Eufaula Flea Market, 354 Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.
When you look at the program and you see all the positive things going on, I know that I've seen a T-shirt, and on the back of it, what does it say?
It says next step.
And that's what's happening.
It is, and you know, you can take that how you want. You know, there are ways to look at that, but the point of the whole shirt is, you know, is what is our next step? You know, whether we're in the classroom, you know, if I was a kid that had a 1.5 GPA, well, what's my next step there? You know, and then how do I carry myself in the community? You know, what's the next step? And then obviously on the football field, what's the next step for Eufaula's program? You know, because honestly, we're not okay with just winning, you know, 6 or 7 ball games. That's not where we want to be. That's not where our goals are. So what is the next step for our football program? I think we're going to define that as we go. I don't think that that's something that we can say, okay, well, the next step is this concrete goal. We're not doing that. We're not setting, you know, these concrete championship type goals. We're just trying to be better every day and take the next step at practice every single day. Whether we're in film or walk through or practice or whatever we're doing, we're just trying to take the next step. And so I thought that was important. The kids, you know, some of the guys were asking me, I made all the players day one wear those shirts. I wanted all the teachers to know who they were, and I wanted people to see that on the back of those shirts. And so a lot of the kids couldn't define what is the next step, but the point is that I don't think any of us can define it right now. You know, because 2015 is different than anything in the past. So what is the next step for this team? You know, and that was kind of my goal, and it really stemmed from, I always use the term extra rep kind of people. So that means if I'm, you know, working through a drill or whatever, I want to try and instill an extra rep. And so I thought, well, let's take the next step in everything we do. Let's try and be a little better every day in everything that we do. And that can define who we are. Not wins and losses, not goals, not anything. Just let's every day improve and work on Eufaula.
I know that when you first got here to the school, that you were here awfully early in the mornings. Is that still going on?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the workload is big. I mean, this is a big job for anybody. I mean, teaching is a big job. Any type of coaching is a big job. And you know, I see some teachers up here sometimes early or on Sundays or whenever I'm up here. But yeah, it requires a lot of time. To do it right, you know, to run it the way that a big 5A program needs to be run, it requires a lot of my time, and I'm happy to do it. I tell you, I'm excited to come to work every day. I really am. I don't know if everybody can say that they truly enjoy their job, but I do. And I think my coaches do. You know, I think those guys enjoy being here. They enjoy working with young people, and our kids deserve, our players deserve, for us to work really hard as well. They deserve to be put in the best opportunity for success they can be. Again, whether that's the classroom or on the field, doesn't matter. We have to work to do that. We have to give them the best opportunity we can.
And I think the entire staff is doing that. Even when you get out of the program, the teachers here are really supportive of this program. And you won't find a bigger fan of Eufaula High School football than Principal Hawkins.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, he's been I couldn't ask for a better boss to work for. Saying it goes to Mr. Tyler, it goes to any of my chain of command, it goes to any of those guys. Our assistant principal, Nancy Edwards and Daryl Woods, those guys are new to our school, but have been extremely supportive. Eufaula is everything I thought it would be as far as how the community supports our kids. They are totally behind it. This town is one of those movie-type towns that shuts down for Friday night football, and that's exciting. That, as a coach, that's all you ask for is support, and then you do the very best you can to give your town something to be proud of. And I think, I don't know what the season holds for us, but I know that our kids deserve success, and our town will be proud of what we put out there. I mean, our kids are hardworking kids. They're good kids here, again, nothing's perfect. I mean, we still have our issues here and there, but for the most part, we have good kids here, and we have a tremendous amount of support from our teachers to our administrators to just the community.
Looking ahead, I know the first 2 games are at home. Then we go away. Do you think we're going to be running any fan buses this year to games?
I'd love to. I mean, I've not been approached to how to organize that, but yeah, I mean, I would love for us to travel well. I think it says a lot, again, about your community. A lot of places fill it up at home, because it's convenient. It's a few minutes away from home, and it's easy. But yeah, I mean, I want us to come to the games. I want our fans to travel with our kids, because once again, our players deserve, our cheerleaders, our band, everybody, our dance team, everybody deserves to be followed, and they deserve the support. And I think they'll get that. I really do. There's nothing like traveling and filling up an away sideline. I mean, there's really not. I mean, that you can make it, if your fans go to a high school stadium and really travel well, you can make it like a home game for you. And that is incredibly important for our kids. And I'm excited about the away games that we have, because we got a couple of tough ones, really tough ones. But they're going to test us, because I'm not one of those people that just wants to play a light schedule. And I'm thankful that the schedule was already made with going to a place like Benjamin Russell and going to a place like Troy, going to Charles Henderson and playing. Those games will tell us, where we're at and how deep we'll go.
When you look at the games coming up, and by no means this is a promise, all right? But let's say that if people are watching this program and that they would like to be put on a potential waiting list for a fan bus, could they call you?
Yeah, I mean, they, definitely. We're gonna organize something like that. Of course, somebody will handle that.
Right.
To put that all in place. But yeah, I think that would be. I really do. I hope we can fill up several of them, and I've got no problem, helping with that. I think it's that important.
So we could have people call the school.
Yep.
And then ask for your office.
Right.
And then just put their name down.
That's
as
right.
How many people that they think would want to go.
That's right.
To an away game. Because I want to see this Tiger program really take the next step.
Right. And it has to have support to do it.
That's right. And that's what I keep emphasizing to people, that it doesn't mean anything except this program is just taking a next step up.
That's all it means.
That's all it means.
That's right. And again, I mean, if we go about it in every phase and try to improve a little bit, whether that's from our fan support, our student support, that's another thing that's huge that I'm going to try and work to get as many students in our stadium to pack it out and to be loud as we can. So all those things are vital for us, for our success.
And we're seeing a revitalization of a program. This is just something that's been growing and growing and growing. We've got a great playoff record that's been established here for years.
Right.
We've got a great stadium that was paid for by community support.
Right.
And that when you have a facility like we have, and with the number of seating that we have, and the opportunities that we have for other sports, even outside of this. I know we've been looking ahead at the TV and radio station about the other sports.
Right.
Basketball right after, soccer, and we're going to be trying to cover a game a week.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean that's we've talked all football here, but my goal is not just for our football program to be great, but I want all sports to be great. And just like recently, and this is just proof of that our booster club and that our support is there. Our volleyball team needed a new set of standards and nets, and that's way overdue, and our booster club provided that. So we got people like Nicole Johns and all those guys that are in place that really are supporting our athletes. Our coaching staff as a whole has grown, not just football. We've shuffled the deck a little bit. We were able to hire Jackie Tate as our volleyball coach. We moved Dwayne Mock to coaching track. I mean, he's an Olympic athlete in track. He needs to be coaching our track team. Mm-hmm. So things like that have been in place for all of our sports to improve. And we have the ability at Eufaula to be great in everything. And we're going to set that standard, and we're going to meet it.
Well, that's good to see, and it's great to see that the support has been here thus far. I know I had the privilege of recording the opening segment for the football games the other day on Saturday. And when I did, these people, both the young men that play, the cheerleaders, the band, the drill team, everybody, they actually got out there and they were happy to be there.
Yeah.
And this is the first year that I've done this, that there wasn't somebody going, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do. This team is proud of who they are.
Well, I think it's because of our community, and it's because of the energy that's there. I just think that we're really pushing this thing in the right direction. You can feel it, and our kids feel it, and it's showing. And but thanks. Kids like to be videoed. We're working on some pregame type stuff and some TV things, and that's neat to have somebody like you guys, Ron, come in and put them on, and because in any way that we can promote our student athletes, we need to do that. And I'm really excited about things like that, and they get excited when they get to be on the radio or they get to be on TV. That's a big deal for them.
Because of all the things that are going to happen Friday night, we are not going to broadcast the game either on radio or TV. We don't want to give out all of the secrets that are going on that we don't have to. And I don't blame you for asking me to not do that, because I agree with it. Anything that helps this program, we agree with. There's going to be some changes this year as far as our coverage goes. We're going to be live on radio. We're going to be live audio on TV. Mm-hmm. And we're looking forward to the next year of having a loop in play. We can do it now on home games, but we've got to find a way that we can do it on away games to broadcast television live.
Right.
And we're working on that. But we're seeing all of these things go together. We're seeing this growth pattern. The games are going to be available on YouTube this year. The playback on the games, instead of Saturday night, is actually going to be at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. But by Sunday night, it'll be on YouTube.
Right.
Where they can see it on demand.
Well, all those things are, again, you never know. I mean, if somebody's watching that, if somebody's trying to check out Eufaula, a recruiter, or anybody that couldn't get here, that is a big deal. You never know. It might get our kid a scholarship, one of our players. And then, obviously, our community, for those that can't get out to the games, which again we hope that we get everybody out that can, but for those that can't, it gives them an opportunity to watch our kids play, because again they deserve to be supported. They deserve for people to watch them play.
We're also working on doing a repeat of the game on Tuesday night, so that we'll have it playing again in a nighttime. But we're trying to get it where the most people can watch it. In talking with people, this is what we've come up with.
Right.
If people have suggestions, see me at the game, call me at the station, whatever it takes. We're going to improve our coverage. Now, we're adding a sideline reporter.
Right.
And it's going to take a little getting used to.
Right.
We've got a young man who just graduated from Eufaula High School this spring that's going to be doing it.
Yep.
And so we're going to be working on that. And I just love the way you've taken hold of the program, and especially in the conditioning program that you've got out for Sarge.
Yeah, we're helping Sarge. Yeah, he's doing good. You know, he's here every day and doing. You know, you couldn't ask for more. He's done a really great job for us, and he's got some help. He's got some kids that are helping him out, and now speaking of that, we have a full-time trainer.
Yes.
Encore training group has provided us with a full-time trainer, which is really valuable. Any type of heat illness or obviously any type of injury from practice or game, that trainer's there for all of our sports. They're going to travel. She's going to travel. Miss Chelsea will travel with us to the games, and it just makes me feel better to have people that are helping with our water like Sarge and doing those things, and then obviously having a trainer here medically for if anything went wrong, you know, that we would be able to take care of our kids.
One of the things too that I see, we had an injury the other day during practice.
Yep.
It's fine, as I understand.
Right.
All right, but it can happen.
Right.
And I think it's great that Encore's providing somebody
Right.
in those practices.
Yeah, and you know, we have an emergency action plan in case something like an overheating issue or anything like that happens, and we were able to get it under control really quickly. And so yeah, I mean that really makes me feel better about the situation to have a trainer here.
And I really want to emphasize to people that listen to scanners. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying anything against it. Be careful that you don't get one event and another event crossed up.
Right.
Because it got out that night that this student had been transferred to Dothan for emergency medical treatment, and it wasn't so.
No, his parents picked him up from practice. So
That's
it was
right.
fine. Yeah, it was okay.
But people thought this had happened. I got calls at home. What's going on? And come to find out, it was a wreck on Highway 30, and it was this event happening at the same time.
Right.
And they got the two crossed up.
Right.
But just make sure that people get right information before they transfer it.
Right.
We work very hard with our Facebook page on You Follow TV to make sure we get the right information out.
Right.
And we want to keep it that way. If you've got tips, we don't mind you posting them. Just let's check them out.
Right.
But Coach, you've got a great program going. I'm glad to see the enthusiasm around the whole campus, not just in this office.
Right.
And you've done an excellent job of doing that. Looking forward to the season ahead. And we'll just say right now for the end of the Coach's Show, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Thank you, Ron.
Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.